Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. So yeah, I finally got Irish to Tier 1, and it took quite a while, because in order to get Irish's Tier 1 skin, you have to use his Sentinel and you have to destroy 3,200 explosive projectiles. Let me repeat that again, 3,200 explosive projectiles. That means grenades, rockets from a recoilless, rockets from vehicles, helicopters, whatever the case is, that's what you're trying to do, that's what you're trying to destroy, is explosive projectiles. 3,200 of them, by the way. This is the most difficult challenge, I think, for any specialist. This has to be the craziest one because it's not dependent upon what you do. It's just dependent on where you put it down. You're dependent upon your team and the enemy team, whether or not you get this done. Now, after doing this and taking me for so long, I came up with 5 things that I started to implement towards the end that really sped up this process. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and give you the 5 tips right off the bat. However, I am going to go through them and explain why I chose these and maybe go into a little bit more detail in the video. So if you want to stick around for that, great. But if not, here you go. Here are the 5 things that helped me unlock the Irish skin a lot faster. Number 1, we did breakthrough. Breakthrough on defense only. That is the main thing. Number 2, find a hotspot where your teammates are grouping up and drop your sentinels around them. Number 3, indoor hotspots, stagger your sentinels and keep them just inside the door. Number 4, use an insertion beacon whenever necessary. That way you can get back to the hotspot as quickly as possible and you're not missing out on any opportunities. And then number 5, don't pre-place the sentinel unless you know where the hotspots are most likely to occur on specific maps. And remember, you can recover a sentinel if the location is no longer available. In other words, you can just hit your interact button, which is E on mouse and keyboard, or whatever it is on console. God, it's been so long since I played on console, I've almost forgot. I believe it's Square. And you can, pick up your sentinel. Also, one last tip, just make sure that you understand that the sentinel does not have a time limit. It can knock down 5 in one volley, but again, it does not have a time limit. In other words, it will work continuously until it is destroyed, either by yourself or by the enemy. So there you go. That's the 5 things that will help you level up Irish fast to get that Tier 1 skin unlocked. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit more detail about each one. I'm also going to go into some more detail about why I did what I did. But if you're out of here, hey, no problem. Do me a favor. Would you hit that like button on your way out? I greatly appreciate it. It would really help out the channel. All right, so let's go into why I'm saying defense. As far as breakthrough is concerned, that game mode, everybody is condensed. We tried it in a couple other different game modes. Every other game mode, you were looking for a specific situation and you were looking for a specific map type, and you really don't have time for that. So breakthrough on defense. Here's the trick. When you're, looking at the games coming up, there are 3 that are going to put you on the US side. Kaleidoscope, Orbital, and Discarded. Those 3 are the only maps that you'll be defending as the US side. All the other ones are going to be Russia. So 3 US, 4 Russia. That's it. You have to remember 3. That's all you have to remember. You don't have to remember all 7. Just remember that Kaleidoscope, Orbital, and Discarded are US defending. Once you see that, then you know, okay, now when I see another one pop up, I can either skip it or I can move on. So that's how I did that. Now, originally I thought that Kaleidoscope was probably going to be the best spot for all this. But what I found out was picking out one objective on one map is ridiculous. It is difficult to find a map. We don't have a server browser. You don't have, well, at the time of recording this anyway, who knows what the future holds for Battlefield 2042. But, honestly, it's one of those situations where, you don't want to sit there and spin your tires looking for a damn, server or a map. You want to get back into the action. You want to keep going. You want to get this done. So if since it was me and I was doing this and I wanted to spend my time wisely, I just focused on defending maps. And like I said, looking for hotspots, looking for where the teams were clustering up, and I started to get an idea. And after a while, you defend quite a bit, you kind of start to see a pattern where people like to get set up. And there are plenty of places. There are some good maps and some bad maps. To me, Breakaway is probably the worst of them all, except as you go down the line. The very first one, it's kind of all over the place. It's like this long, drawn-out line. So there's not a lot of, rockets being thrown. There's not a lot of condensed areas. So what you're looking for in that situation is you're looking for a hotspot and you're looking for helicopters to come with a rocket barrage. Now keep in mind, one Sentinel can knock out 5 I repeat it, 5 explosives at one time. So if they have a 20 barrage, you can knock out up to 10 because you have 2 sentinels if you put them side by side or right on top of each other. I like to spread them out because I want to get as much as I can, and that's what I would do. That's why I spread them out quite a bit. So my favorite map probably is going to be Renewal. I have done 85 in one round. I've done 113. I've done 144 and 130. I've also done 35. Attacking, I think I did around 19. So not as good because you're dependent upon how good or bad the team is. That's why I think defending, it didn't really matter how good your team was. As long as they were, backing up every now and then, you were fine. And the further you went back, the better off you were. So Renewal, to me, is probably my favorite map to do this challenge. But I didn't want to say really that because most people will take it like, hey, I'm only going to go to Renewal. No, man, you can go to Kaleidoscope and have a good one. The 2 maps that I didn't go to, and not because I didn't want to, but because I just never got them that much, was Orbital and Manifest. I never got those when it came up to defend. So there you go. That's my favorite. So again, my favorites are Hourglass, Renewal, Discarded was fantastic, and Kaleidoscope wasn't bad either. So yeah, that's why I chose defense. I thought it was a much easier situation to put yourself in, and attacking, it just depended on what your team was doing. You really wanted your team to be bad because if your team was really good, probably not going to do very well, which is kind of odd. So indoor hotspot staggering the sentinels, I learned really quick that either you can put them on the either side. However, people have gotten smart, especially me. If I see a sentinel, I'm shooting it immediately. Just make sure that you put them in a place where people can't just take them out. You want to make sure that they're going to try and shoot them out, that they're going to get shot at the same time. So there you go. The insertion beacon I didn't use right away, and I'm kicking myself that I didn't think about this sooner. Somebody in my chat when I was streaming suggested this. That's right, I do stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We also have a Discord. If you want to come hang out with us there, you can. But again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, starting around 1 o'clock Eastern time. Come hang out with us. But I didn't use the insertion beacon. It was suggested to me for a while, but I'm such a C5 kind of guy, or I want something extra. I just didn't want to take up that gadget slot for it, and I was kind of dependent on everyone else. And that's the thing. You really need to just keep putting yourself close to those hotspots and get back as quickly as possible. But yeah, when I started doing that, that's when I started having the better numbers. That's when I started having the 100 to 200 eliminations for those explosives with the Sentinel. That's the kind of rounds I was having. So yeah, use an insertion beacon. You won't regret it, trust me. Now, the 5th one, I was saying, don't just place them anywhere because you never know what's going to happen. And what I mean by that, if you think that you know where the hotspot's going to be, that's fine. But you really never know what's going to happen. Hotspots form in different areas all the time. Maybe that's where the pilot is just firing at certain groups of people. Adjust your strategy. Maybe don't put them down right away. See how things are going. Also, if you haven't put one down and all of a sudden here comes a helicopter strafing down at you, maybe your squad, throw one down really quickly. They might kill you off, but you're going to capture like maybe 3, 5, who knows, 10 if you put them down just in time. So don't just place them willy-nilly. Make sure that you're thinking about where you're putting them at. Make sure that you're putting them in and around those areas. Like I said, you will get used to seeing where the hot spots are, but every match seems to change just a little bit. Feel it out, see how things go, and you have to adjust your strategy accordingly. And that's really about it. That's all that I did. I just kept doing that over and over and over. Look, this challenge, honestly, if you're doing this, take your time. Don't let it get to you. This is not for the faint of heart, man. This is a tough one because you are dependent upon other people. You're dependent upon your team, either being successful or not being successful. You're dependent upon them, backing up as much as possible because that's really what you want as your defender. You're kind of rooting against your own team. You're rooting for the enemy because the more you back up, the more opportunity that you're going to have in the game to do what? Destroy explosives, grenades, rockets, things like that. You're going to have that opportunity. The more times you have that opportunity, the more points you can rack up. And that's what you're wanting to do. So that kind of sucks. That kind of defeats the purpose of playing, trying to help out your team. But that's really what you're doing. You're dependent upon your team not being as good. You're dependent upon the attacking team to be a little bit better, but not too good. You don't need them too good because if they're really good, you won't be able to get to those areas to set down your sentinel. If it's a hot knife through butter, you can forget about it, Again, there's 3,200 explosive projectiles that you have to destroy. So yeah, it took a while. I didn't start really paying attention until we got to about 800. that's when I started pushing. I realized, oh, I'm at 800. Let me go ahead and get started. So I really started writing things down and focusing on it around January 10th. And I think that was when we were about 8:30. I started, I think I put together a stream saying, hey, we're going to try and knock this out. And then I started taking notes when my progression was around 1300. And that was it. So once I got to 1300, I thought to myself, I've got to start taking notes. I've got to figure out how to do this. Can I get this done and find a way to benefit anyone else doing this? And I hope I have. I hope I've actually laid down some basic ideas for you, and hopefully you'll be able to take advantage of those and maybe get it done a lot quicker. If you do get it done after you watch this video and you do it faster than me, let's just round up and say I did it in 40 hours, just to be safe. So if you get it done in faster than 40 hours, I would love for you to let me know and that this video helped you out. If this video also helped you out, do me a favor, hit the like button. That would really help out the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Good luck to you. I hope you do well. And again, if you want to hang out, come hang out with us in the Discord, or find me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday right here on the same channel, streaming at 1 o'clock Eastern time. All right, that's it for me. As always, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye for now. I got it! I got it! Holy shit, I got it. Oh my God.